Hi, Keith here with Rebel Civics. Today is a special episode for the Flag Day holiday in the US, June 14th. I'm going to go over the reasons I do not say the Pledge of Allegiance. Spoiler alert, I realize that nearly every line in it is false, and it would be a lie for me to say it as a pledge, though I'll say it as part of the episode and go through the wording of it. I slowly came to realize that each line was wrong over time. The last 20 years or so, I've been saying less and less of it. I certainly said in school, I went to government schools, we had to say it. I said it every morning at school. We stood in front of the flag and saluted. And I've been involved in a bunch of groups over my adult life where they would say the Pledge of Allegiance before a meeting. I no longer say it. I stopped saying it one line at a time, and to the point where I don't say it at all. My next step is that I'm going to stop taking my hat off when other people are saying it. The history of the Pledge of Allegiance, the version that we use right now, in 1892, Francis Bellamy published the first version in a book called The Youth's Companion. Bellamy was a Baptist minister and a Christian socialist. He was a cousin of socialist Edward Bellamy. His goal was to install socialism in the United States, make it a one nation, one state. Everyone is beholden to the will of the state. So its purpose was to make the United States more socialist. That's why he came up with it. Congress and President Benjamin Harrison directed that the flag and the pledge be the center of the Columbus Day celebrations in public schools. It was in the 1890s. They did a salute. The original salute was like this, very similar to the Hitler salute. And then at the end of the salute, they would flip their hand over. I'll show some pictures of that later. That was the salute that was used until 1942 when Congress changed the salute to over the heart, or the military salute if you're in uniform. But the original salute for the first 50 years or so was pretty much the same as the Nazi salute. And that's actually appropriate because the pledge is very similar to the pledge to Hitler that the Nazis used. So I think the original salute is actually more appropriate than the one that is used now, the hand over the heart. Anyway, it was in support of government authority and devotion to the state, almost as if the state is divine, as if the state is the top authority. And you get children as young as 5 pledging that, and you want to get them in the mindset that the state is the supreme power that you have. There were several tweaks in the 1920s. They tweaked it a bit. 1942 is when it was formally adopted by Congress, and that was also when they changed the salute to be the hand over the heart. In 1954, the under God line was added. So in 1954, the version we use now, that was the last change that was made. It's required in government schools in the United States now, except for 4 states, interestingly. Nebraska, Hawaii, Vermont, and Wyoming do not require the pledge to be said in public schools. But the other 46 states, they all require it. Okay, I'm going to go through the pledge phrases, each phrase, and explain why they're wrong. So the first phrase in it, I pledge allegiance to the flag. Well, I'm not pledging allegiance to a piece of cloth. I'm not pledging allegiance to a general government. I'm not pledging allegiance to the United States of America. So I don't say that line. I wouldn't say that. I don't pledge allegiance to my state either. That's just not something that I'm willing to do. So it would be wrong for me to say that. And to the republic for which it stands. Now, you could say the flag does stand for republic. I actually would agree with that. In the Constitution, it says the United States guarantees to each state a Republican form of government. And that's not Republican as in the Republican Party, nothing to do with that. The Republican Party didn't exist when they wrote that. It's a government that is a republic. Now, the original Constitution is a setup for republic government, as Ben Franklin said when someone asked him, what kind of government did you create when he came out of Constitution Hall in Philly, he said, "A republic, ma'am, if you can keep it." We didn't keep it. So I wouldn't say "into the republic for which it stands," because the 50-star flag that we have now and the general government we have now is not a republic. We, the people and the government, have slowly allowed democracy to creep in. As I've mentioned on other shows, the founders were adamantly against democracy. The whole setup of the Constitution is to prevent, mob rule, which is another word for democracy, from taking over. So the flag, you could say it originally stood for republic. The 13-star version did, and maybe some of the laters. But I would have to say the 50-star flag stands for the United States that we have right now, and it's not a republic. Next line, one nation. We're not one nation. We never were one nation. The United States Union is many nations. There's lots of different factions and different views. I'm not a member of the Cherokee Nation, which is part of the United States. Even the 50 states have multiple cultures and multiple nations within them. So what the word nation means, no, the United States is not and never was one nation. That's a socialist goal. That's the one state. We are not the United States of America. We are 50 states in a union. The union is a contract. So no, we're not one nation. Next line, under God. You might guess I wouldn't say that. That's actually the first one I stopped saying that when I was in my 20s. Actually, I think as soon as I got out of high school, I stopped saying that one, and when I was in a place where you had to pledge it. First off, we're not one nation under God. The United States was never a religious country. The government is not founded on a religion. As several of the founders pointed out, we are not a Christian nation, never were. Now, this is not to say that a lot of the Christian moral values weren't part of the founding. Certainly the Enlightenment and the ethics that came out of it are important in Western civilization. But the United States is not a Christian nation. It's not a Muslim nation. It's not a Jewish nation. It's not under God or any one God. That's a monotheistic religious view. I disagree with it. Also, I happen to be an atheist, so it would really be a lie for me to say that. How can I pledge to be under God? I despise the whole concept that God is a higher power than the government, which is a higher power than the people. That whole list of things is wrong. So no, I'm not saying that line. The next line, indivisible. No, we're not indivisible. The United States is the biggest empire in the history of the world, and based on all of Earth's history, empires end eventually. 200 years is actually about the average, and we're well past that. So the United States will eventually end. Again, all history says that it will. And also, we're not indivisible. Breaking apart, secession was a key to the whole view of the founders. And that's how the original United States was formed, was 13 independent colonies seceding from Great Britain, from England. They seceded from the state of England. If you reading the documents from the time, there are 13 separate colonies seceded from England. So the whole foundation of the United States is based on that we're not indivisible. The contract or compact that the U.S. Constitution is a contract between sovereign states. And there are multiple states that have in their constitution part of the ratifying documents that if they decide to take back full sovereignty and split away from the union, that they can. If that's in their state constitutions. So no, you can't say we're indivisible. Texit might happen. New Hampshire exit, Flexit. I don't know. We could break apart. And I believe that someday we will. So I'm not going to say the line indivisible because that's false. That's a lie. Liberty and justice for all. Now that's an admirable goal. If you believe that the United States has liberty and justice for all, then you're welcome to say that. I'm not going to say that because it's not true. We don't have justice for all, and we don't have liberty for all. The United States is better at those things than many other countries, most other countries, I'd say, but I can't say that line because it's wrong. So basically, the whole thing's wrong. So I can't say it. So I stopped saying it. So think for a minute about what does the U.S. flag really mean. So if you do want to pledge to the flag, if you want to see what do you think of the symbol as the United States, I have to go back to the arrangement that the founders intended. They saw these United States. If you look in the Declaration of Independence, the United is a lowercase u. It's plural. We're not the United State. We're the United States. If you want to consider the flag to be a symbol of something of the United States, then the flag itself is a symbol of the right to disagree with the pledge and a symbol of the right to refuse to make it. So if you believe anything about the flag, then it's a symbol of the right to refusal to make the pledge. So no, I don't say the pledge. If you see me silent while other people are saying it with my hat on and my hand not over the heart, it isn't because I don't believe in the principles of the founding of these United States. It's because I don't believe in a socialist pledge that's filled with false phrases. And I'm not going to say it. So that's all there is to it. Okay, so here's children. This is in the 1920s. These are children in a government school saying the Pledge of Allegiance. You see the salute that I'm talking about. This is actually a more appropriate salute because it is a socialist pledge. To say this pledge is to pledge to the government, one nation, indivisible, under God, all of that. That's the appropriate salute to use. And if it reminds you of Nazi Germany, I think that works fine. I think that we should switch back to this symbol of the pledge because that is what it means. And this is what they used for 50 years. So anyway, that's why I don't say the pledge. So on Flag Day, if you see me with near a flag and people are saying the pledge, I'm not going to be saying it. I'm going to stand there. I'll be silent. I won't interrupt people that are saying it. But if someone asks me why I still have my hat on and I'm not saying anything, then they're going to get an earful. And maybe I'll just link them to this show. So anyway, if you're celebrating Flag Day, by all means, enjoy the day. I'm going to have a good day on Flag Day. Goodbye for now.
Thanks for sticking around until the end. If you're new to Unsafe Space, check out our deep content library that includes discussions with everyone from James Lindsay to Brett Weinstein. And please consider helping to fund our work by visiting unsafespace.com/donate. You can find us on a variety of social media platforms, and you can find a community of like-minded individuals on our Unsafe Space Discord server, which is open to financial supporters at any level. We hope to see you there.
Warning. This is an unsafe space. Dangerous ideas have been detected. The content of this production does not meet WHO health and safety standards. Please report to a United Nations Sanitization Center immediately. Association with the following individuals is strictly prohibited. Experts who benefit from printing money agree that printing money does not cause price inflation. Trust me, just 2 more weeks to slow the spread of monkeypox. If you think about it, no one should be allowed to express opinions. But don't. Think about it, I mean. That's not your job. Thinking has been scientifically proven to be less efficient than compliance. Science, scientific, and scientifically are registered trademarks of the World Economic Forum. Unauthorized use is prohibited. Computer voice courtesy. Never mind, that last line is fake news. Please disregard it and return to your safe space immediately. There will be cake.